Alright, this is test one, very first test. The very first test of actual cutting anyway. I've done a bunch of other tests to make sure that it looks like it's running right. So now I'm actually going to have it cut. So here we go. Turning things on, and you'll hear probably mostly the vacuum. That's top speed of the cutter. You can probably still hear me over that. that feed and speed was just a little bit too much for that drill bit. But I think that was still a successful test. Okay, I have put a new router bit in. I've reset the machine. I think I have everything ready to go to give it another try. So here I'm going to try recutting the same thing, see if it'll finish up the cut. Now we get to cut it some air for a little bit. Looks like the next pass we should actually be cutting something. a little rough, but I think some sandpaper can take care of most of that. And I stopped it before it did its final pass because that was just going to eat into this waste board here. I cheated just a little bit when I switched out the router bits. I zeroed it and then I gave it another millimeter. So that's a little bit of why it only took 4 instead of 5 passes to get through that. And also why it cut the pips, the dots, a little bit deeper. And that's primarily why I gave it another millimeter to the Z. So I'll clean this up and the bed up and show you what just made that creation. This is about 2.5 inches wide. And that is 4 foot by 8 foot internal dimensions. Actually, a little bit larger. It's 47 inches by 96 inches. That gantry is roughly 10 foot long. It is a total of about 5.5 to 6 feet wide. The whole machine here, from one side of the MDF base all the way to the other side, is almost 12 feet. And that is run off of a 48 watt power supply for the spindle, 24 or 48 volt power supply rather, 24 volt power supply for the NEMA 24s. A computer power supply does the power for a Raspberry Pi, an Arduino, the one on top, not on the bottom. Right now it's doing a second Arduino until I can get the code running on just a single Mega. I have don't know if you can see that, but that LED LCD will be running, showing any end stops that are going. That's all hooked up to that mess of wires. There are 4 TB6600 stepper motor controllers. I've got a nice little arm for monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Once I get a cabinet going, I have a wall plate so you can hook your keyboard, mouse, and Ethernet and storage device up to it without having to get in. And I'll just show you a little bit about how fast this thing can go. So I'm running this thing in millimeters at the moment. So that's 100 millimeters, that's another 100, and I'll bump that up to 1,000 millimeter travel. So you can see that it's moving pretty quick. If my software could go any higher, I would, but it can't. So I'd love to show you all the way across, but it just won't do that. The software I'm running on the Raspberry Pi is CNC. It's a piece of software that I haven't quite gotten a grasp of yet. This was the first thing that worked correctly for me, so I went with it. And you might be wondering, how the heck did he build this thing? Well, a lot of time, a lot of money, and a large makerspace in the Quad City area of Iowa called the QC Collab. They have one big room that I'm occupying a good portion of. Oh, there's my tools. More tools. More tools. Some tool racks. That stuff's not mine. Foosball table. And I'm not even done with this thing yet. I still have a ways to go because the bed here, I have Acme thread to make that go up and down, and I expect to get about 2.5 feet worth of travel. I'm going to make this into a kit so that this can be, the head can be switched out so that instead of having a 400 watt CNC mill with a 7-inch travel for the Z-axis, it can have a laser cutter, 3D printer, welding, water jet, plasma cutter, you name it, you can put the head on there. Even if you want to make a very large pancake maker. So I think I'm going to stop here with my first video, and I'll let you ponder. Maybe someday you can get one, and hopefully that someday soon. I'm getting to the end of this build, and I'm making it modular so that if all you want is this gantry that I have working right now, you can. If you want to add the bed, that's another module. Another module would be the laser system, or the welding system, or the cabinet, or a dozen other things that I have in mind for this. So we'll see what the near future holds. Yeah, that's some really big drag chain because of all the stuff I want to put in it. Good night.